Sound good?
What we're trying to do is create a space where people can kind of get a little bit of everything, a little bit of terrain park, a little bit of skiing through the trees, a little bit of groomers, and create a place that, you know, new people can try the industry out and do it affordably.
The app I started is called Utivity. What Utivity is, it's a shared service marketplace for activities and adventure. At Utivity, we were looking at locations for our next great kind of activity adventure center, and we actually came across Echo Mountain as a location that was actually, you know, filing for bankruptcy.
The handful of us that were involved early on basically, you know, sat down and really tried to figure out, you know, why has this failed, and look at the specific reasons, and then basically we just said, what's the best option to try and make this work? I knew the Burwells from when I was at DU, and so they knew of my passion and following of the industry. I'm skiing and snowboarding for a long time, and so when this opportunity got presented to them, they came to me and said, you know, what do you think about this? And we started working on figuring out if we could make it a viable business, and here we are today.
We all have, you know, some form of background with business and in various degrees, and so we just thought of, you know, how can we make all this come together and work as one.
Echo Mountain is a great alumni story because you see the convergence of three individuals who met and spent time at DU, formed friendships and relationships, and it really wasn't until, you know, 5 or 6 years after graduation that a business opportunity presented itself.
You meet people that you're friends with in college for college, and then you meet your lifelong connections, and Fred and Kyle and I have stayed together along with a lot of other people, and when this opportunity came along, because of the DU connection, this whole thing came to be. When you're hiring people or working with people is how experienced they are, how much you can trust them, and knowing people through college, kind of going through that whole phase, allowed us to build this team.
I was really intrigued by a lot of my finance classes. Right? And finance was my corporate M&A classes, my modeling classes, mergers and acquisitions, that sort of thing. And that really got me excited about just understanding, you know, the finance industry, and that ultimately took me on a career path towards investment banking and private equity.
Studying marketing, you know, DU really kind of sparked that fire in me, and I had some really great professors in the marketing department and took some really interesting advertising classes, and so that kind of led to me diving further into, you know, how does a business run? How does a business market itself?
From going from just, you know, college buddies that like to snowmobile and do, you know, outdoors activities together, to actually growing up a bit, you know, and now having these conversations is actually quite fascinating.
You know, Denver's such a unique place. For many of our alums, their time at the University of Denver was the time that they grew as a person, as an individual, grew into a young professional. You got your degree, but in some ways, like a bond or a stock, it appreciates over time. We want them to see how much more valuable it is, you know, after 5 or 10 years, you know, after graduation.